Hey fam, and welcome to my second Halloween tutorial of the season. Today we're going to be doing It, and it's Pennywise. Pennywise. I think I'm saying that right. I haven't seen the movie yet. But yeah, so I love it so much. I've been seeing a lot of direct recreations of it directly from the movie, which I love those so much. But I wanted to switch it up a little bit for you guys in case you guys didn't want to do the whole bald cap wig situation. So great. But real quick, I just want to talk to you guys about my hair. I'm using Matrix, of course, and it's like got a nice pink peach vibe to it. So I'll have my full formula listed down below in the description box, and where you guys can go and find a Matrix salon near you to get the exact hair that I have, because it's so fun. I'm going to be changing it up soon too, so I'm going to give you guys another update because I'm ready to move on from the pink. So exciting news. Okay, so just jumping right in, I'm going in with the Sigma eyeliner in this nude shade, and I'm going to use it to sketch out the overall design of my makeup look. So if you guys are anything like me, or you're a newcomer and you're just wanting to get into special effects makeup, or you're just participating just for this Halloween season, it's a really good idea to kind of map out what you want to do, because it helps you stay focused, and you don't get lost, and everything ends up a little bit cleaner, and you can get a rough idea of what you're doing. So essentially what I'm doing now is I'm just sketching out the stretch mask part of my face. It's always good to take the pressure off too, so everything that I'm drawing on these lines are not final. You can take them off, you can move them, you could reshape them, but this is really to get a rough idea before you start going in with pigmented face paints or eyeshadows and all that kind of stuff where you have to like remove it with a makeup wipe. This really wipes away easily just with your finger, so it's good to just kind of get an overall rough idea. So I'm just doing the nose, the face, the brow lines, and then of course the traditional It clown smile. Love it. You should look like that. So now I'm going in with the Sigma brush. This is the F75, and I'm going to be taking a white face paint. The one's by MAC, and I'm just applying it all over the perimeter of my face in a nice clean line, and then to my entire face. So really quick, any white face paint will do. And then I'm going in with a makeup wipe, and I'm just kind of fixing and reshaping all of these stretched mask portions. So because I want them to look very pulled from the back of my face forward. So again, nothing is final, so I'd really just work that together. And I'm going in with a red liquid lipstick. You guys can use a face paint, lipstick, whatever you guys need. And I'm just going to be applying that to my nose. I like to get the rough geometrical, like solid shapes first, and then I like to shade and add depth after. So with that same lipstick, I am using that same concealer brush that we used before, the F75, and I'm going to just really quickly just kill shot the smile lines, which I'm shocked that I only did it once. I was like, whew, thank God. And then I'm just going to apply that to my lip. Perfect. If you don't wear lipstick, you're going to be wearing it for hours, because this tutorial took me like 3.5 hours, so you get used to it, guys. But I would suggest a lipstick over a water-activated face paint, because that will bleed. So now I'm going in with this Sigma brush. I'm going to have everything listed down below in the order in which I used it, but it's a very small detailer brush, and I'm just going to use that to sharpen up the lines of the smile, just to get it nice and crisp. So now I'm going in with Sigma's Smokescreen palette. I'm using the shade Savlight. I don't know how to say it, but it's this shade right here. It's a nice green, brown tone green. And I'm going in with the Sigma E40, which is my favorite blending brush in the entire world. And I'm going to use that to start adding depth and shading to my face. So I'm starting off with the brow bone, and I'm really just tapping and pushing and swiping all kind of at the same time to create a little bit of furrow brow lines. And that's essentially going to add shape back to our face, because now that we wetted it out with white face paint, it's just very flat. So I'm going in with the temples and the cheekbones and all that kind of stuff, and I'm going to be using two different shades, so you guys can picture this as a transition shade to help the darker shade blend. So I'm just applying that to all of the traditional depth places, like the forehead and the nose and all that good stuff. So then I'm also doing it on the teared lines. Adding shadows here is going to make it look like it's really pulled, and almost like the fabric or the plastic of the mask illusion that we're creating is being tearing and moving and all that good stuff, and it looks reflected and blah blah blah. So I'm just going to also do the smile lines, which I would never normally do unless it's a clown, because that really punctured cheek, that like voluminous cheek, is really creepy and clown-like. So we're just doing all the good stuff. So now I'm going in with the Sigma E45, which is my favorite brush. It has a little bit of a tip to it, which we need very much so. So I'm going in with the black shade from the Smokescreen palette, and I'm applying it just below where I applied that brownish green tone, and we're going to use that point to kind of flick it up. So even with the face paint and with these shadows, I want to, of course, have them blended, but it doesn't need to be too blended, because it's very creepy. This is a Halloween look. We don't need it to be too pretty. So I'm just going in with that brush to add more black and shadow, and then going back in with the Sigma E40 blending brush to really help diffuse those shades together. So you want to do that to the cheekbone, and then now I'm also doing it to the part of the mask that's being pulled into my face. So I'm just adding shadow there, but leaving a highlight line right at the edge to really have movement, which is glorious. movement is what we want. So yeah, I'm just speeding it up now so you guys can see kind of like what I'm doing. And I'm also doing the chin, just anywhere that there needs to be depth, because again, when you add white face paint, it makes everything very flat. So you want to just put shape and shadow back in. And continuing on with that same form, I'm also doing it to the brow bone. And this is where the tipped brush really comes in. This brush is great for beauty if you're doing like a cut crease or a smoky eye and all that good stuff. But it's also great in special effects. I just love it. So, yeah, I'm just really using the point to really get into that brow bone area and just flick that black up. And then now you can see that it really has that blended movement. And that brown shade is really helping that black to blend in. And I'm just going to be doing that around different various places of my face. And right now I'm doing it around the nose just to have that kind of poke out and add dimension and depth and all that kind of stuff. I literally use the same 5 words in every tutorial. Like, if I were you guys, I'd kill me because, like, I can't even hear myself speak sometimes. I'm like, depth, dimension, movement. Anyway, so I'm going in with a makeup wipe. And I'm just going to kind of reshape the mask. Now that you kind of have a little bit of a better idea, you guys can go in and like change things up. So now I'm just bringing the forehead lower, and then I also just sharpened up the points. So now I'm going in with a little bit of lash glue, and I'm just adding a little tip there, and then I'm literally putting a washer. So I bought a new dresser from IKEA, and I had some extra washers for screws, and I just I'm gluing them onto the edge of my mask, so it's kind of like bolted to my face, which I thought was a cool effect. And then with a black liner or a black paint or whatever, you guys want to just color in that center part to make it black. But now that the pin is there, you guys can kind of see how I made the bolted points sharper and more triangular. That's just something you guys want to do once you guys get it more of like an idea of like the final look, you know. So I'm going in with Line Ace, which is a white liquid liner, and I'm just going to reinforce these highlight lines. And then you guys can see kind of how the triangles are like perfectly melded into that bolt that we glued down. And that, you know, this is something that happens like towards the end. It doesn't need to be perfectly painted on your face right away. That's something that I always struggled with. And I'm like, I can't kill shot it every time. You don't have to. Just kind of, you know, go with it as it you know, progresses. But now I just took a little bit of white face paint and apply that to my eye. And then I'm going with the same 2 eyeshadows that we've been using to contour and all that stuff. And I'm just sweeping them into my crease, starting with the brown and then now with the black. I'm really just focusing on the crease and blending upwards towards my eyebrow, because we're going to go in with black gel liner to really apply to our mobile eyelid to really blow that out. But essentially I'm just doing like a 5-minute all black smoky eye. But if you guys aren't familiar with what a smoky eye is, you just want to put some blended black eyeshadow. So now I'm going in with a Sigma black eyeliner in the shade Wicked, and I'm going to be applying that to my mobile eyelid and right at the lash line. And then once we have that on, we're going to blend that up into the crease that we just did. I know right now it looks crazy, but it gives you a fully blown out blended look. So I'm going back in with that blending brush and just buffing out that top harsh line. And then we're going to finish off with black eyeshadow to set this cream, and then also it'll help with blending and stuff, and it'll just give you like a very menacing dark smoky eye. So now I'm just blending up words with the Sigma E40. I feel like I'm talking so fast. Am I talking fast? I always talk fast. I hate myself. So I'm just adding a little bit more black and just kind of getting them taller and sharper because I just wanted to feel more menacing. And then I'm also just doing those that temple line too. So now I'm going in with a white paint again, and I'm just creating a little bit of white lines. These are highlight lines that are going to act as almost the fabric or whatever the mask is made out of, folding and bending in the light. So I'm adding a little bit of highlights, and then we're going to go back in with the same eyeshadows to shade around that, which is what we're doing here now. It'll help make the highlight line smaller. I feel like the thinner the line, the more impact it has. And you want to just blend that out, and then it kind of gives you that illusion that the mask is being pulled into that bolt when it was then bolted to our head. Bolt, bolt, bolt. Ramsey Bolton. Anyway, so we're just going to keep doing that to all of the sides. I didn't do the bottom jawline. Again, I kind of just kept that as like a slimming feature. I didn't really have it bolted down to my bottom jawline. I just did the 4 on top. 1, because I only had 4 washers, and 2, because I think it just looked a little better. I don't know. I was working with what I got here, sisters. But I'm just going in with that E40 again just to do some final blending and make sure that that really moves into the mask while adding a little bit of that brown just around the rim, just to really dirty it up and add more depth and movement and dimension. My favorite words, guys. I could just kill myself. So now, yeah, so I'm just blending it and just being meticulous and all that cool stuff. So now I'm taking a little bit of brown eyeshadow, and we're going to shade on my natural skin tone where the mask meets my face. And then once you have that brown down, I'm adding a little bit of black, and you just want to blend that out. And that's just going to add the shadow to create the illusion that the mask is resting on top of our face instead of it actually being our face, you know, illusions. And then I did a little bit more black by the cheekbone, and then I blended that into the cheekbone too, so it adds like a little bit more depth, dimension, and movement. God, guys, if I had $1 for every time I said that, I'd have like $45. Okay, yep. Just keep doing that. So I'm adding a little bit of black to the forehead too, and then that is we're pretty much getting to the end there, but that really like helps solidify it. And then I put a little bit around the chin. So I popped in some black contacts to make me look scary, and I'm going in with a lip liner of a pink shade, and I'm applying that to my waterline just to add a little bit of like scary blood dimension. I'm only applying it in the middle. So now I'm taking these are my favorite eye smudging brushes. I'll have them listed down below if you guys want to check those out. But I'm using the flat black one now to just apply a little bit of black eyeshadow directly underneath that red liner. And that's really going to just push that pigment onto the skin and then help blend it out a little bit. And then I'm going to switch over to the bullet brush to help blend that out. So now the illusion is really that it's the red waterline, and then the black is just kind of hugging that and really makes that red look even more red. So now going in with the clean bullet brush, I am blending out that harsh line downward. I'll have everything listed in the order in which I mentioned it, so you guys can get a good idea of what I use and when I use it and all that good stuff. But we'll just do the same thing to both eyes. This is the very final step. I'm going with a red gloss, or you guys can use a clear gloss or whatever. I thought it was a little too red, so I'm adding a little bit of lip gloss to my lips and to the nose just to add a little bit of high shine and gorgeousness. And then that's the finished tutorial, my friends. Oh, I just love this look. So this video was sponsored and collaborative with Sigma Beauty, and they're actually hosting their annual Halloween contest. So definitely pop over to their social. I'll have all the information for their contest down in the description box below, because there's some really cool stuff, and you guys can win some cool stuff. And you guys can use the coupon code FACTION for all of the products I use in this video to get some money off. So definitely check out the description box for all that good stuff. But I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys learned something new today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.